Sound check, 1, 2.
This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
And he knows as soon as he gives it to her, he's gonna give her his heart to her too.
And we'll have kids and get married.
That's too far.
Holy shit.
It is the 13th of July, 2021. My name is Corey Winfield, and this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. Today, crazy day. Crazy emotional day for me. And if you're in early recovery, you probably have these all the time. Well, today I had to do a lot of reflecting, and I'm a type of person, I don't like to get angry. I don't like to get frustrated. And these things in the past would quickly trigger me to drink. It's easy excuse, right? You've probably been there before. If you're in recovery, if you're a friend or a family member of someone else who's going through it, these are some of the struggles. And it was said to me once that we addicts like to take the smallest thing. It's maybe not we don't like to, but it just happens. Say someone takes your lighter, ready to fight, ready to throw down. Like, that's disrespectful. You know, we take something like so minor that you're like, okay, I can buy another one for a couple bucks, you know, like not a big deal. Apparently he needed it more than I do. Handling it that way, you don't get upset. Now, you can ask for the lighter back nicely, you know, and then if they don't give it back, then you could throw down. I'm just saying, like something like petty like that. Like, you're not going to be injured. You're going to move on with your life. You get kicked out of your house. Hey, we can handle that. We'll just live on the street. You know, we'll call up some people. We'll figure it out. Not a big deal. But it's those little things sometimes that will work us right into a relapse. But today, I was just thinking about a few things. If you listen to the podcast on Saturday, I apologize. It sounded, I don't know, I didn't listen to it, but I'm sure it sounded like just whining. But, you know, I expected something out of a company that didn't deliver. You know, I don't know why my expectations for other people were so high when I've learned not to have expectations for other people. I can have expectations for myself as far as like what I want to accomplish, how I want to handle situations. But for other people, I can't expect them to do anything. I can't expect anything of them. You would assume, but then again, that's kind of expecting. And I was let down. I felt hurt, you know, that here in my mind, I had the plan of taking all these hats, and I want them to be nice, and I want to give them to people. I want people to go, hey man, here's, you know, $40 for a donation, and me go, hey, well, here's a hat. You know, I want it to work that way, but I just don't feel the quality of these hats are good enough, you know, and the company kind of screwed me up, and that's on me. And I even told the guy when I called them the other day, like, look, we have this event we're going to on the 24th in Paw Paw, and I want these for that event. And I even told him, I know that means nothing to you. Like, your world, like that dude's getting off at 5 o'clock. He's going to drive home, probably hang out with his family, do his thing, get up next morning, do it all over again. You know, like my problems don't concern him. And I was trying to like relate that to him. Like, I don't think your company really wants me handing these hats out and saying, oh yeah, here's a business card of the crap job that this company did. Here's their business card, you know, call them. You know, nobody's going to call them. People are going to stay away from them. So anyway, I was thinking today, because I ordered more hats, and I'm like, got to get these done, you know, got to get these out there. And the problem now is the event's next Friday, and I'm not going to get the hats until maybe Thursday or Friday. So it's going to be precedent, man. And they've already got their thing going on. You know, all the embroidery shops in Traverse City, Michigan, seems they already are busy and they're all backed up. And talked to a guy today, and it was a God thing. Like, today really was all about God in the right place, the right time, the right situations. But I looked online, and I went to this hat store in person, or this embroidery shop, and I asked, hey, can you guys help me? The owner called me back. And it's the same kind of relationship I used to have with PGI and Petoskey when Herb was there. Like somebody that could call and they're going to do the best they can for me. And he assured me, he's like, look, man, your hats are going to look fine. But am I going to have them in time for our event? No. I mean, I'm sure if I called every single shop in town, but then there's probably a reason why the other shops aren't as busy. So am I going to hurry up and rush to try to get this done before the 24th? And then what? And then I get crappy hats again? I think that would drive me even more nuts. So my point is that the people I met today are the people I'm pretty sure I want to work with for our future products, which, you know, it's a blessing in disguise. So as much as I used to have respect for people at PGI, I don't have that anymore, and that's fine. I can move on now, you know, and I think I found something even better. So even though I may be looking at it as like, oh man, this is horrible. Actually, it could be a blessing in disguise. Like I said, it allows me to cut ties with something that I didn't want to be tied with anyway. So, and you know, there's ways to recoup the money. You know, if they don't want to pay the bill that we send them, then that's something that's totally different. I'm not really going to even talk about that anymore. But you know, it was a blessing in disguise, really. And I was talking to my friend Tyrone today, and what Tyrone told me, he said a lot of different things.
I was given your number by.
No, he didn't say that. Man, he said that. But there was some stuff going on where, and this is something that for the last 2 months, maybe 3 months, I've been aware of, and like I, you know, kind of found that in Michigan, the transportation for people in early recovery, you know, to from treatment, it was lacking. You know, putting somebody on a bus just isn't the way to go. I can tell you firsthand. I've seen everything you can think of at a bus stop before on the way to or from treatment. So I stepped up and said, hey, let's do something about this. And now, like I said, we have that going, and we've helped a lot of people get to and from treatment, people that couldn't have made it. And does that mean they're sober today? No. But you talk to anybody that I've taken, and they're like, yeah, Corey gave me a talking to, that's for sure, you know, and create a little hope and inspiration in people to know that they can do it just like I did it. You know, it just takes time. They're not bad people. You know, addiction doesn't make people bad. Sometimes they do bad things because of their addiction, but deep down, you know, they're not bad people. But anyway, with that same kind of like, let's step up and let's fill the void, this other situation has been coming at me just over and over and over and over. And it hit me, I don't know, maybe today, maybe it already was in my brain, but now I'm finally like going, oh God, is that what you want me to do? You know, like we had talked about having recovery coaches actually train people, or not train people, but talk to people. And, you know, we would train people to be recovery coaches. And that's kind of hard in itself, especially people that are in recovery, early recovery, because you just don't know. You know, you could invest in somebody going, hey, yeah, you know, you can do it. And then they go off the wagon, and I don't know. It's tough, but it doesn't mean it can't happen. You know, I don't give up on people. People didn't give up on me. I would have been the first one to give up on my ass. I'm like, man, you're just not getting it, bro. Like, I can see how frustrated some of my counselors and therapists probably were. Sorry about that. But that was a tough one. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if somebody's listening right now and they're just like, man, I've been through it over. This is my 100th relapse or whatever. Don't stop, man. You got to find that purpose. And with that purpose will come, you know, more great things in life that you never even thought were possible. And I took a guy the other day. I hope he's doing well. But he said he had 8 months and decided, I can do it again just this one time, which will get you every time, because that's the thing. You can't just do it one more time. I mean, if you can, man, wow, you should write a book. Come on my podcast. I'll be the first one to ever have somebody like that on my podcast, somebody that's figured it out. But if you just accept the fact that no, you can't, and you save yourself some hurt and some pain, but this guy didn't. And he went on a crazy bender. Said he hadn't left his house since June 5th. It's like, wow, like that's a month, man, of not leaving your house. That's crazy. And we got to talking, and it was funny because he was giving me pointers on how not to drink, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not drinking today, man. That raw, like, damn it, I knew I messed up, and I don't think I can admit it to anybody until everybody pretty much knows, is where the situation that he was in. And he was just like, man, you're one of us. I was like, well, yeah, dude, I'm one of us. You're one of us, and you can get through this, but you get somebody with like 8 months or something and 9 months and they go out like that. It's tough, but again, if I don't expect anybody to do really anything, I'm not going to expect somebody to relapse. I'm not going to expect somebody to stay clean, but I would like if honesty was a part of that. But, having recovery coaches and being able to get paid for it is something that I want 217 Recovery to move forward with. And not just to get paid, but, doctors are getting paid, therapists are getting paid, recovery coaches have started to get paid. But I think that's something that really helps people out. And I know there are some therapists that are in treatment centers that just hate us as recovery coaches. As somebody who's been through it, and now I'm on the other side, they look at it like, oh, well, I went to school for all this. And what did you do? Well, I went to school too. It was called School of Hard Knocks. It was a long, painful course. But it seems like we get a lot of attitude sometimes because they're like, oh, you can't do that because you don't know. Well, and I did take some psychology classes and some other classes. So like, I'm not that much of an idiot. And at the end of the day, you can't save anybody else. You can talk to them and give them hope. And this is where I'm going to get back to the whole God thing with my day. So it starts off me realizing, okay, just slow down. Let's make the best decision and let's not run into another problem with the hats. Right. And I was praying to God about that. I was like, God, just show me. And then, Tyrone calls me, talks about this situation where I'm like, dude, that would be perfect, and then we could actually team up with another nonprofit to kind of make all this happen. So maybe I've been avoiding it because it's going to be hard and I'm scared. That probably means it's worth it. But anyway, so that happened. And then I came in here to do the podcast. My lovely wife had a rough day. She's asleep. So I was like, I'll knock this thing out myself. And then I realized as I was loading up the Daily Zone, the Daily Recovery Zone, their event, like I mentioned earlier, is in Paw Paw on the 24th. Well, they had sent me a schedule and I was adding that to the website. So if you go to 217recovery.com/events, you'll see the event, you'll see my little promo video, and you can see the lineup of when it starts, kind of when it wraps up, who's speaking when. And I went to put it on the website, which I did. And then I put it on the app. If you got the 217 Recovery app, if you get it from the app stores or whatever, you can go there and check the events. And I checked the events and I realized, oh no, I didn't publish today's daily reflection or the 24 hours. Those are both online and they're there for you every day. But I forgot today. So I was like, oh, damn. So I pulled it up and then I started reading it. And it was humility is a gift. And I don't think, read anything from AA or anything on the podcast before, but I'm going to do it right now just a little bit just so you can understand what I'm talking about. First, when I came to AA, I wanted to find some of the elusive quality called humility. I didn't realize I was looking for humility because I thought it would help me get what I wanted. And I would do anything for others if I thought God would somehow reward me for it. I try to remember now that people I meet in the course of a day are as close to God as I'm ever going to be on this earth. I need to pray for knowledge of God's will today and see how my experience with hope and pain can help other people. If I can do that, I don't need to search for humility. It has found me. And I was like, man, that sums up my day. You know, like taking it back to the hat thing. You know, like I want to help other people, right? So I was thinking, hey, we could make money from these hats, or we could give these hats as like a reward. And that would give us more money to help more people. You know, I want to buy a bunch of underwear. There's underwear, socks. I mean, treatment centers need a lot of things. And just those little things like that, they don't have an abundance of. I mean, I was working at a treatment center, a guy came in, he didn't have any underwear. Can you imagine? I don't know where you're at in life right now, but not even one pair of underwear. You know, I want to give them underwear, clean socks, you know, just to make them feel good. So, you know, there's things that we can do to raise money. And one of them was to sell hats or whatever. But so I was looking at it from my point of view, like, oh, I'm going to be embarrassed to sell these hats. I'm going to do this because I'm going to help other people, you know, and then, you know, it'll be good for me. Meaning that, you know, I was kind of hoping if I do that, yeah, you know, God should reward me for that. I did good. What really came to mind was how I could really help people when, like I said, Tyrone called me, and can't really get into too much of what him and I talked about, but there's an opportunity there to really share my experience, my hope that can help people. And that's going to go way further than a hat or money ever could. And that's humility, you know? So I just thought that was kind of fitting, like, oh, here I forgot to upload this today, but it's there now. Sorry if you were checking it out and couldn't find it, but I'm sure you can find it anywhere. But it is on our app, so just kind of remember that. The Daily Recovery Zone, they're so funny because I don't know. There's another video I need to make, but you can watch the video that I made the other day, like I said earlier, on our events page at 217recovery.com. But they're starting a group chat with all the people that are going to be speaking and looking at the weather. I mean, it's the next Friday, next Saturday, not this coming, but the one after. So the 24th. I looked at the weather and it's supposed to be like sunny and 85 and a chance of rain. So good chance it's going to be humid. As one of my friends would say, yeah, but it's hot. So that means the women are going to be wearing less. I guess if you want to look at it like that, but it is going to be a good time. Our tent, and I feel like I'm being such a diva too, but our tent is like right up next to the main stage, which will be fine. That'd be pretty cool. We could chill and talk to the people that are about to go on, because we're going to be broadcasting live pretty much all day. I'm not feeding my face, but there's going to be food there. It's just going to be a good time, man. If you've never been to a recovery event before, it's a blast. It really is. The one in Lansing, that was a little weird because it wasn't the lawn of the Capitol building. So it was a little weird. I'm not going to lie. It felt like we're protesting, but we were just trying to show, hey, look, we're people too. You know, like our votes count. It's time to start paying attention. But this is more about just having fun, man. Having fun in recovery. You know, listening to people, their hope, their strengths, their weaknesses, their struggles, their inspiration. You know, it's about building on that and building that friendship when you don't know who you're going to meet. And that's the thing too. If you're in early recovery, I don't know if this has happened to you. Well, I'm sure it has. Just not sure how many times, but you'll meet somebody that you never thought in a million years you would meet. And then that starts opening doors that you never thought would open for you. I mean, it could be running into somebody at the store, or, you know, telling somebody, hey, don't drive off from the gas tank. Your pump's still in the thing. Oh, man, thanks. Oh, man. They notice your shirt and it says something about 217 recovery. And you're like, oh, man. Or they're like, hey, what's up? You know, you're in recovery. Me too. You never know how you're going to meet somebody. So and that was kind of a pretty weird story because I've never done that to anybody. Would you do that though? If you saw somebody about to drive away I think I would just kind of get in my car and leave. I'm like, man, there's about to be a big accident here. I don't know. Maybe I would. Maybe I would go, hey, yo. As long as, I mean, if I would like somebody to yell at me if I was about to do that, but I would probably be in my car at that point thinking like, what is this jackass yelling at me for? Anyway, if you see somebody with a gas hose in their gas tank at the gas station, remember this, because that was God telling me to tell you about it. So maybe say something, and you never know. You can meet your future wife that way, future husband. All right. Now is the point where I'm about to start talking about time travel. So I'm going to wrap it up. But thank you so much for listening and listening to me get things off my chest and kind of process my day. That's what I do with these podcasts. I was in radio for 20 years. And I get used to talking to myself into a microphone. And I really start to process things sometimes. And to say them out loud, it really helps. And people say it helps them as well to listen. So I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. 217recovery.com. That's our website. Like I said, get the app. We're slinging shirts now. Some pretty nice hoodies. You can be the first to have the 2020. Well, not the first, but one of the first people to have the 2021 fall hoodies. Look pretty sweet. You can check out pictures. Store. 217recovery.com.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Win a bunch of free shit from 217 Recovery. Go to the app or the website, 217recovery.com.